Hey there, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use Hotseat with just kind of some quick tips and tricks. So one of the very first things that you're going to want to do is up here in your search bar, you need to make sure to go to www.purdue.edu/Hotseat. And then once you do so, it will take you to where you have to do your boiler key and log in. Then you will see this screen. I'm already logged in, so that's why I have bypassed that. Once you get in, you do want to make sure that you can see this Purdue University label down here. That's going to let you know that you're attached to the one that can connect with your Brightspace. There's a separate video that I will send you on how to connect your courses. I do not have an admin option up here, and that is because I don't have any courses that are associated with me. So you as an instructor, you should see that up at the top that you have that admin there. If not, you need to email tlt@purdue.edu so that they can get you connected that way. So one of the first things you want to do is you want to title your space. So when you are titling your space, what I would absolutely recommend doing is I would make sure that you have it titled with your course number, the semester, and the year. So for example, we're going to call this ENTR 200. And then we're going to say that it's section 1 and spring 2020. As many details as you want to give it there. And then I can go ahead and hit save. In this situation, for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to hit cancel because I have a space that's here. So I have created a class called Tara Klein's class. And then I have set up different topics. I would absolutely recommend setting up topics. So if you have a Tuesday class, I would have this be your first Tuesday class. So let's say that it's the week of January 18th. When we go back, it would be January 19th, 2020 Tuesday class, if that's what you want to title that. And then the Thursday class would be another set of them. So once you go into these topics, you then can see where I have our topic that's up here. So I haven't done any polls for the students yet. A poll is something where you can have done in live time, and that way you are getting communication back from the students to know if they're listening, if they're paying attention, if they should be logged in, viewing the lecture in a live format. You're going to be able to gain that information by doing so. So if I go up here to the top where I can see polls, you can see that I have a poll that has been created. So let's go back and I'll show you how I have done that. So the very first thing I want to do is we're going to manage topics. And by managing topics, I can go up here and I can add a new topic. So I want to then choose which course I want to add this in. So we're going to say Tara Klein's class. And then the topic name, that's where I had said before, Tuesday. And that's our topic. And our discussion, maybe we're calling it favorite movies. So then you can put in a date here on when you want the users to be able to see it. You also have the ability, I'll show you in another screen, to go ahead and end that poll too. So having the dates associated with it, I would very much so recommend. The page refresh time, I would recommend 15 to 30 seconds. 5 seconds is not very long. You also can choose if you want to minimize the amount of characters that are there, and your max that you can do is 1,000. So if I were to add topic, that would add all those. Once again, for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to cancel out, and I'm going to show you one that I have already created. So let's go to types of cookies. And we're going to say that, this is a poll in progress because I have started this one. So this is a poll that's in progress. And let's say we're in class and I want the students I want them to answer that. So I'm going to make this full screen right here because we're going to talk about our favorite cookies. That's the poll I want to do for them right now. So what I'm going to do from a student standpoint, right now from my cell phone, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to text the code below to this phone number right up here at the top. So if I, as an instructor, have just told you what's my favorite type of cookie, now the students are needing to answer that accurately. I'll show you in a moment that I've attached a point value to each of these items that are here. So right now, so that you can see what it looks like as a student is going to enter in what they believe their poll question is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to text to 765 560 4177. And I'm going to text this particular code, whichever one that I think it is correct. MC is standing for multiple choice. So I have texted, and then as a person who has texted, it says, thank you for your response. Of option B, it has been recorded because I chose this one. So I can see as an instructor that I have one person that has responded to this. So if I'm supposed to be getting 30 responses, I know that I can stop that poll right now if that's something I want to do. And then once I hit stop, the students cannot access that poll any longer, and it will stay at that same number. If I want to restart it again, that's an option that I, of course, have. And then I'm going to just text another answer so that you can see that I've opened it back up, and I'm just texting to that same number, and I'm going to text a response. So that 30 seconds that we talked about on that previous screen, that's that refresh that's there. So right now, it will say your option has been recorded from me as the person that's texting. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to stop that poll, and we're going to view those results. So after I stopped it, it did not record that answer. And when I restarted it again. So you can see that the poll results are one person guessed sugar cookie. I'm the only one person that is submitting these right now. So you see that when I started it and I stopped it, that number did not change from 1. And that's because I cannot submit more than one answer. It's going to just override whatever it was that I just did. So now that it is stopped, if I were to try to, as a student, record another answer, I'm going to text that. The response I will get back as a student that says that poll question is not active. So you see, as a student, the first time I guessed chocolate chip, and then the second time I guessed sugar cookie. So it overrode it and it did the sugar cookie as that. And then as a student, they received, that's 100% of the responses that they had that are there. So I'm going to go to next. And we're now going to, if we want to go on to this poll, we are in our class right now. We've got 2 windows open. We have one where we have our PowerPoint going in this screen, and then we have in another tab, we have our poll going. So let's say that we're lecturing and we are to a point now, we're ready for another poll. That's when we would have hit next. And then we have this next poll that is up. So as a student, still to that same number, I'm going to go in there and I am going to text the answer that I think is accurate. You'll see now that we have a 1 that's up there at the top. We can view the results, and we have one person that has guessed snickerdoodle, and then we can hit stop. So what I have done is I've attached points to all of these. So for some of you wanting to do some of this for attendance, you can have points associated with all of this. You download it as a CSV file, and you can upload that directly into your Brightspace gradebook. So I want to go back and show you how that would happen. is that if this was a poll worth a certain amount of points, that was a poll worth a certain amount of points, this is going to pull this in at right here as one grade item in your Brightspace gradebook there. I'm going to show you when editing the polls, kind of what that looks like. So this is telling me the students have already responded to this, so just be careful in any sort of response. So the first one was favorite cookies. What is Tara's favorite type of cookie? And you'll see that I've associated point values with that. So I obviously just made up silly ones, 2 points because chocolate chip is my favorite. I gave you 1 point if you guessed white chocolate macadamia nut because I can't deny those either. And then I awarded 0 points for sugar cookie, just because. And so the second poll, you can see then what are Tara's least favorite cookies. So 0 points if you chose oatmeal raisin, and then 1 point if you chose snickerdoodles. So you can go in there and you can change that point value to be in there. This will either go away in a couple of seconds or you can close it out. That's completely up to you. So we're going to go back and we are going to go ahead and manage and create another topic. So we're going to say for this one, we're going to go through and create a topic. We're going to add this to the class. Once again, we can choose the date, that refresh time on how long it is before it shows the poll that's coming in, the next amount that's coming in. So you can choose. This time we're just going to do the normal time, leave it 300 characters, and then add this topic. Once we are in this topic, we are going to then go to edit polls because we have a topic that is for that particular class, but now we're going to edit the polls that are in here. So this is one that I created a little bit ago. So I have what is Tara's favorite movie, and then you can see that I have awarded point values that are there. You can add options, so I could have 4 options in there if that's something that I want. Maybe I created it by accident. I can just go right back and I can exit that out and then save those changes. One of the biggest pieces of advice that I can give you is organize them by topics. This is going to make it so much simpler when you go back and you're doing any sort of grading that's there. As I said before, I'll send you another video that shows you how to connect your rosters. If you have questions, you want an individual appointment for me to show you how, I am glad to meet with you. Have a great day.